You can write everything down if you want to. Be brave enough to write every one of your goals down. But I'm going to tell you something. Life's going to hit you in your mouth, and you got to do me a huge favor. Your why has to be greater than that knockdown. And I love it. Buster Douglas got knocked out. Nobody ever got knocked out by Mike Tyson and ever got back up.
At 3 and 4, his eyes from where I'm sitting look fairly clear. It's up to 7.
It was almost a 10 count. He was stumbling.
And here it is at 9. Is he going to get up? Yes, he does. All right.
Saved by the bell.
The 8th round.
He goes to his corner. The whole world is like, yep, that's it. Once he comes back out, that's it. Mike's going to just hammer him. And exactly that. Mike Tyson came out like, I got him. I got this kid up against the rope. Listen to me, many of you right now, life's got you up against the rope. You can't give up. You can't give in. Listen to me, if it was easy, everybody would do it. And if life's got you backed up, I need you to do what Buster Douglas did. Buster Douglas started fighting back.
He's uppercut by Buster Douglas. Look at this. He's knocked Mike Tyson down for the first time in his career. Mike Tyson hits the canvas.
The world was shocked. Goliath has been knocked down. What happened? And they went to Buster Douglas and they asked Buster Douglas simply like, what happened? And Buster Douglas said, listen to me, it's real simple. Before my mother died, she told the whole world that I was going to beat Mike Tyson. And 2 days before the fight, my mother died. Buster Douglas had a decision to make. When his mother died, he could die with his mother, or he made a decision, I can wake up and I can live for mom. And he knocked Mike Tyson out simply because his why was greater than that punch. His why was greater than defeat. His why was greater than his trial and his tribulation. And I'm telling you, if you don't know what your why is and your why isn't strong, you're going to get knocked out every single day.
It's not an option. And the reason why some of you are not where you're supposed to be, you've given yourself an option. You've given yourself an out. You've given yourself an excuse. You've given yourself room not to do it. Yeah, are you hearing what I'm saying? You better go inside. You still looking outside for the stuff that's already inside. You still looking for someone to save you when you already your superhero. You looking for some information from somebody when you already got what you need in your head. It's just time for you to get up and be the best version of you.
If you want to learn law, we suggest you go to law school. If you want to learn medicine, we suggest you go to medical school. But if you want to learn leadership in the industry of networking, you've arrived at the right place at the right time. We're going to be teaching and giving you the information you need to succeed. But I want to tap into what you've just seen. I want you to tap into why you're doing this in the first place. I want you to think about if this takes off and grows beyond what you ever thought it was. Let's just say that you look up a year from now and you can't believe what's taking place, the income you're earning, the team size you're building, the number of leaders that are under you, the number of countries your business is in. You're earning right now residual income, what most people earn in an entire year. What is it that you hope to gain? Why are you doing this? Is it your kids? Is it your legacy? Is it your parents? Why are you doing this? Why are you building this empire? Why are you carving out a chunk in this pre-launch that we're doing? Why are you giving it your all? I want to tap into what Buster Douglas tapped into, because he was truly fighting to show his mom that she was right. So I'm telling you right here, right now, you have what it takes to be the champion, but you got to feed that champion what's inside of you. You got to feed it what it takes to get there. I want you to tell yourself every single day that you can do it. You will do it. It's already done. It's just a matter of walking out the steps. See, it's already done. Time is relative. Folks, we're going to be talking about how to build a gigantic empire. I'm going to be teaching you in this training session how to be a top producer in this company, in your team, in your group, in this industry, but lead a balanced life. We're going to be showing you exactly how that works and exactly how to do that. Now, what I want you to understand is for you to grasp everything that I'm going to be sharing with you today, that I want you to absolutely positively believe that you're going to get there. See, this is a prerequisite. Now, I can tell you exactly what to do. I can tell you all the steps to do. I can give you the formula. But if you don't believe that you're going to get there, you just won't get there. So I'm asking you right now to believe that you're going to hit your goal. Even if you don't see the evidence of hitting that goal, you already know you're going to do it. You don't have to know how you're going to do it. You don't have to know who's going to come in your business. You don't have to know who's going to say yes. You just got to believe that you're going to get there. I'm asking you to believe. I'm asking you to believe. I'm asking you to see it already done. That's what we're talking about. Now, what I'm going to do at the beginning of this training is I'm going to go back and do a review from the previous training we did. We're going to cover the harvest principles. We're going to cover the recruiting rules, and we're going to cover the building laws. But I'm not going to go into detail. That was the last session that we did. This session, we're going to just talk about what they are, and we're going to take those principles, take those rules, take those laws. We're going to apply them to your calendar and show you how to wrap your work around your life, not how to wrap your life around the work, how to wrap your work around your life so you don't miss any of those responsibilities that God has called you to do. You're going to do everything you're called to do. You're going to be the mother, the father, the grandmother, the grandfather, the husband, the wife, the neighbor, the brother, the sister, your faith leader. You're going to be all of that you are called to do. But in the process of doing that, you're still going to be a top producer. We're going to show you how to do that. Now, I didn't even know how to do this. But when we first earned our first million, I got to tell you folks, the business was running us. We weren't running the business. It was running us. The tail was wagging the dog. Seriously, we were responding to all the action that was happening. But it took a while for me to tap in and find different leaders and how they did it, how they ran gigantic organizations of 100,000 people, 50,000 people, how they were leading a successful, balanced life and still being a top producer. So that's what we're going to cover. I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm going to be going back and forth from the screen to just talking to you because I want to emphasize some things. But let's make sure that we're able to really capture the essence of what we're teaching today. So what we're teaching today, you see there is time and there is money. Now, you can make more money, but you can't make more time. So we got time and money. We're going to maximize both of them. And I'm going to show you how to create a duplicating organization that absolutely positively will outproduce others, and people will come to you and say, how are you doing it? We're going to show you exactly how to do it right here, right now. Man, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. I hope you're ready to get down for your crown. You're not afraid to get paid. You want to put some respect on your check. If you said yes to any one of those, get ready, fire up that pen, because here we go. The first thing I want to do is review the harvest principles. Principle number one is the thoughts and how you think, what you think about is going to impact and affect your emotions, and your emotions and how you feel. That's going to impact the words that you say. And the words that you say, we all know that life and death and life is in the power of the tongue. The words that you say are going to affect the actions that you take, and the actions that you take are going to affect what you can see, the results you can see with your naked eye. That's harvest principle number one. We talked about that on our last training session. Harvest principle number two is simple. You and your income will grow in proportion to how you grow within. So if you're willing to grow, to put some knowledge in your head, to read something that'll show you, that encourage you, that tell you you can believe that you can get there. If you're willing to listen to a few things, I'm going to give you some stuff to listen to. I'm going to put it in the Telegram group and on the Facebook group on different trainings and coachings and stuff that I've done in the past, so you can glean and listen to it over and over again. Because see, we get so many negative, disempowering toxins that come to us in a day. You got to pour in some of that good stuff to the garden of your mind. Harvest principle number one and number two, we talked about. Number three, we're going to touch on it again, and we're going to go straight to number four as well. That whatever you focus on, whatever you measure, whatever you put your time to is going to grow, is going to expand. What do you want to grow? You want your income to grow? You want the number of contacts you have to grow, the number of phone calls you make, the number 3 ways you do, how many people you're recruiting, how many people that you're launching, you're getting going. Whatever you want to grow, you got to start measuring that and tracking that. How many phone calls to brand new people do you make a day? Huh? How many brand new phone calls, new people that you're contacting, piquing their interest, sending them something and following up with a three-way call? How many of those you do on a day? Track it. If you track it, it'll grow, it'll expand. Harvest principle number 4, and that is the true growth. True growth comes outside of your comfort zone. Well, I'm not real comfortable giving presentations. I'm not real comfortable in front of the room. I don't know if I can do a three-way call. Whatever you are uncomfortable, get comfortable doing it. Because to be a top builder, to make $50,000 a week, you have to develop and grow into someone you're not right now. You have to pick up some new skills, some new attributes, some new areas that you're not operating in right now. You have to do that. You can't stay the same as you are right now and make $50,000 a week. It's not possible. So you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Real growth comes outside of your comfort zone. See, when you start being comfortable being uncomfortable, that's when you start being unstoppable. You start building new neurons in your brain, new neural patterns, because all of a sudden when you feel uncomfortable, your brain says, hey, you've been here before, you can go ahead and do it. When you get those butterflies, you do it anyway. Feel the fear and do it anyway. It's a book that we read a long time ago, and that taught us, hey, to real successful people, it ain't like they don't get scared. They get scared, but they do it anyway. So we covered these principles and these rules in the last training. I'm reviewing them because we're going to take these principles, take these rules, take these laws, and apply them to your calendar. Stay with me. We talked about the recruiting rules, the 1/3 rule. 1/3 of the people you bring in when you build a big organization, 1/3 of them are going to quit. So you got to discipline your disappointments. If somebody you bring in don't do nothing, that's okay. That's okay. That's just part of life. That's part of business. That happens. 1/3 are going to quit. 1/3 are going to incubate. I've got people that I bought in that was fired up. They told me all that they were going to do and why they want to do it, and they have done absolutely nothing. They've joined. They've come on all the calls. They take all the notes, and they've recruited exactly nobody. But that's okay. I know they're incubating. They're waiting for their time to come. They'll wake up and they'll get going. So I know 1/3 is going to quit, 1/3 is going to incubate, and 1/3 is going to be the top builders in the whole company. So 1/3 is all you need to be big builders. So you have to understand the 1/3 rule. The reason I'm telling you about this is you got to recruit wide enough. You got to bring on enough people that you personally sponsored. So when some quit and when some incubate, that other third is big enough for you to hit the gold, for you to hit the silver, the gold, the platinum, the diamond, platinum. You have to have so many personally sponsored nationals in order to do that. So we're telling you, you got to go wide enough to allow some to quit, to allow some to incubate, so that you have enough to go. Now you get it. It's easier to build your business fast than it is to build it slow and painful. So we're going to do everything fast. We do everything in a hurry. When I bring somebody on, I want to know how soon can I get them to get their 2, to get their 3, to get them qualified, to get a check coming from them. I'm not talking about next week. I'm talking about tomorrow, the next day. Remember, keep that in mind. I'm always doing everything fast, not slow and painful. It's always easy to build the business fast. The next thing, you want to build your business from event to event. Think of how many people in this particular training or on the last presentation that you had in your team that was on there. Think about that, and then think about how many you're going to have on the next one, because you always want to have more on the next one than you had in this one. Let's talk about the building laws. This is where it gets good. Man, it's getting ready to get good. If you're going to be a top producer, if you want to make 5,000 a week, 10,000 a week, 15,000 a week, 5,000 a day in income, 20,000 a week in income, if you want to be that, if you want to earn that, you have to show your business 4 to 6 times a week to be a big time money earner. It's a must. You have to show it 4 to 6 times a week. If right now you're not showing it, just get it in your mind that you're going to start doing presentations. You're going to start doing them yourself. I'm going to put 2 versions of the PowerPoint in the training center on the team website, healthydefensenow.com. I'm going to put 2 new versions up there, one that has a video in it, one without the video. But you're going to download that and you're going to get in the habit of saying, meet me at your computer. And I'm going to show you this. You're going to read the screen, bob your head and say, can you believe that? And you're going to start doing presentations. If you want to be a big builder, you got to do it. There is no such thing as a top money earner in a company that doesn't do presentation. There's no such thing. That's like a pastor that never read the Bible. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. You have to have that. So just put it in your mind right now that 4 to 6 times a week, you're going to be showing this. I'm going to show you how that's possible in a moment. Second thing is a recruit is not a recruit until they've got 2 to 3 enrollments. Don't get excited when you bring on a brand new person. All right. See, that's what rookies do. They get excited when there's somebody enrolls. They think that person is really legitimate. They're not. They become a real legitimate recruit when they already have 2 to 3 people in them. So I want you to already think about, now that somebody has enrolled, your job is to help them bring on 2 to 3 people right away. That's your goal. And then each of those 2 to 3 you get in right away, here's why you want to help them get 2 to 3 right away. Because what you're looking for is you're digging for gold. Because the real independent, big time builder, leader that don't need your help, that's going to be the top producer in the whole company, they're 3 to 4 levels deep. So who you sponsor by getting them their 2 to 3 right off the rip, and helping them get their 2 to 3 right off the rip, that's when you run across that big time independent builder. So you're digging for gold. You're digging within your organization. You're sponsoring new people, digging down, helping them get qualified, getting them a check coming. But you're digging for that 3 to 4 level. You're digging for that big time builder deep in there. Okay, we covered the recruiting rules. We covered the building laws. Now it's time for us to talk about how to apply those to your calendar. Now, I want to just show you some things. The purpose of your calendar, and I talked about this before. I'm going to talk about it again. As a matter of fact, let me stop my screen share so I can just make sure that I really put this in a context for you. The reason we're talking about how to apply all these rules, these harvest principles, and these building laws to your calendar is so that you can be a good husband. You can be a good wife. You can be a good grandmother, grandfather. You can be and have all of your responsibilities that those roles call. You can do all of those and be successful. So in this calendar, the advanced calendar training, we start teaching you how to identify goals for the roles that you play in your life. What are your goals as a husband? What are your goals as a wife? What are your goals as a grandfather, a grandmother? What are your goals as a sibling? What are your goals as a friend to the friends you have? What are some of your goals in each of the roles that you play in life? All of us play different roles in our life. So I just wanted to stop my screen share to identify that our focus is to help you be better in what the roles that you're called to do. Now, with that being said, now that we talked about what we really want to do is help you become a better whatever you're called to do, now we're going to talk to you about how to be a big time earner doing that. Okay, so let me make sure that you can see my screen share here. Okay, I hope you can see that because I'm going to be talking about this. The purpose of us talking about how to apply those harvest principles, recruiting rules, and building laws, the purpose of that is how to apply it to your calendar, okay? And we want to help you to be good in what you do. Now, I want everybody to get a tangible calendar. This is what a calendar looks like. This is my calendar. You can see kind of how I use it. Everybody get a calendar. This is how it looks like when it's blank. This is my calendar. The reason I like these kind of calendars, this is the at a glance calendar. You can go to ataglance.com and get one of these, and it has to be a weekly / monthly calendar right down the middle. I can open it up. I can see my entire month right here, and that was just a blank one. You can see here how it looks once you kind of get the calendar written out. Now we're going to show you how you can do that, but get a tangible calendar. I know you got a calendar on your phone. It doesn't work the same. You got to be able to look at it and identify where you are. So now that we all understand what to get, where to go, ataglance.com, they're not expensive. Get you a calendar. This is going to help you lead a balanced life, but also be a top producer. Okay. Now, here's something that I want you to understand. Hope you can see my screen here. Let's talk about how to set up your calendar. At the very top of your calendar, I want you to put what your goals are for the month. How much money would you like to make in the month that you're in? I want to make $5,000 this month. I want to make $10,000 this month. There's always a number that you have to stretch to get to, but it's got to be realistic. Don't say for your first month you want to make $2 million. You're not going to make $2 million in your first month. That's not realistic, but you can make $10,000 a month your first month. My goal was $20,000 my first month. I exceeded that. My point is, you got to write down a goal that you want to get to that's going to require you to stretch to get there. Okay, you're going to put that at the top of your calendar. Next thing we want you to do is write what rank would you like to achieve for the month that you're in. So at the top, you put in, I want to make this much money. I want to hit this rank this month. You got to have a goal or a target in order to get there. Then I want you to write down how much you would like for your total team to grow to this month. See, this is giving you a roadmap. This is like putting in your coordinates into your GPS. Amount of money I want to earn, amount of team I want to get to, and the rank I want to bust wide open down to the white meat. Put that right in there at the top of your calendar. You're looking at it every time you open up, it's there. How many other nationals would you like to develop in your team? How many people are you going to help to get to their goals? Write that down too. All this is at the top of your calendar. It's all right there. Every time you open it up, it's just staring at you. Your goals, what you want to achieve. Then you want to write down, once you hit that, now this is the important part. This is where I want you to plot your life in your calendar. Now, if you know that you got to work from 9 to 5, and you know you got Bible study on Wednesday night, you got soccer practice with the kids, you got to take your grandkids here, and you got to go here and do this and that, write it in your calendar while it's blank. Okay, I know that I'm working 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. I know Wednesday evening I've got Bible study. For me personally, we've got date night every single Friday night. Don't call me a Friday night. You know what I'm doing, and I'm not answering the phone because I've already got that in my calendar. It's already marked off. Friday, it's already marked off. I'm plotted that in my life. Sunday, I know it's my Sabbath. Maybe Saturday is yours. Scratch that out. Whatever that is, put that in there. Family night, date night, swim practice, soccer practice, whatever it is, put your obligations in there so that your life, your obligations, what you're called to do, the roles you play is already in your calendar. Now that that's there, you're going to take the high productive working your business and you're going to plot it around your responsibilities. You're going to plot that. You're going to wrap your work around your life, not wrap your life around your work. You're going to be successful at the roles that you play. And this is going to give you a balance. So there's no shortcomings in your work-life balance. Everybody got that? Okay. Now, remember we talked about you have to show your business how many times? 4 to 6 times per week, preferably in a group setting. So how long does it take to show the business? Well, it takes a little less than an hour. But if you got to drive from one person's house to the next person's house to this appointment, you're going to meet at a restaurant, you got 3 people meeting you there, you're going to somebody's house, and while there, they got 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 people there. Well, you got to give yourself some time to drive to get there to show the business. Your job is to show the business. If you will commit to showing your business 4 to 6 times a week, I promise you, it's a fact. You'll be a top producer. The law of high numbers and the law of averages will work in your favor. You won't care if they say yes, no, or maybe. Your job is to be committed to the process. You be married to the process and divorced to the result, because it doesn't matter. You in the show business. You in show business. There's no business like show business. You in show business, right? That's what you do. So you're going to greet your guests, give the presentation, have fun, and sign up new people, and do a quick 3-step training. The 3-step training is the last slide of the PowerPoint. It's already there for you to show it, right? 4 to 6 a week. 4 to 6 a week takes an hour, maximum an hour and a half to do this. Now, even if you can't do nothing but work on the weekend, you can show this 4 times between Saturday and Sunday if you want to. If you there's enough time for everybody to do this. Now, if you plot your life in there, then you can look and say, listen to me. Okay, here are all my responsibilities in my calendar. Where do I have an hour and a half to do a presentation? I'm not saying you have one scheduled. You're just identifying, when could I do one? Okay, I could do one Monday at this time. I could do one Tuesday at this time, one Thursday. I could do 2 on Saturday. You write down that you got a presentation Monday at this time, Tuesday at that time, Thursday at this time, and 2 on Saturday. Now, you don't really have a presentation yet, but you plot it down when you got time for a presentation. So you plot your life in there first. Listen to me. Then you go back in and say, when do I have an hour, hour and a half to do a presentation? Write that in there. Now, this does not compete with the overviews that are going on Zoom and the team presentations. That doesn't compete with that. But you write down when you have an available hour, hour and a half, and you plot your group presentations before you get the appointment. Listen to me. This is important to do. I know that most people want to schedule an appointment when they get it, but what you're going to do is you're going to schedule your appointments before the appointment gets here. So you got your life plotted, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in a week that you can give a presentation. This way, when somebody says, hey, can you I want to get you started off right. I want to help you get a comma in your check. You just joined the business. I got to get you a check with a comma in. Is that okay? No one's going to say no. If you just enrolled a brand new person, you want to help them make $1,000 in the next 7 days. Would that be okay? They're going to say, yes, that'll be okay. You say, okay, I've got Monday at this time, I've got Tuesday at 7, I've got Saturday at 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, or you tell them, I want you to book 3 of these, right? This is important for you to do. You want to make sure that they're going to book 3 of these sessions. And you know, when somebody says, hey, can you do a presentation for me? You're going to look right down on your calendar and say, yeah, I'm open on this day, that day, because you already put it down in your calendar. You already identify when you're available. You're not like, well, let me see. No, you already know when you're available. Now, you have to understand that when you go over someone's house or in a restaurant, or you are in person, or you're doing a presentation, you say, meet me at your computer at this time, and they got them and 4 or 5 people in there also on a Zoom, and you're showing the business to 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 people. They're all in a virtual presentation. When that happens, you have to understand that the purpose of doing a group presentation is not to recruit people. It is not to bring on customers. Let me say that again. The purpose of doing a group presentation is not to sign people up. It's not to sign up customers. That's going to happen automatically. The purpose is to bam fam. So you got to know the reason you're going over that person's house. The reason that you're doing a group presentation on Zoom is so that you'll come away with that, from that presentation, with more presentations booked in your calendar than you showed up with. So when I go over somebody's place, I'm going over Doug Duncan's house, and he's got 15 people there, some folks from work and some people from his family and a couple of neighbors, and I go by there and we do the whole presentation. I'm going to leave there with about 6 or 7 other presentations in my calendar. That's why I went over there in the first place. It's important that you understand what I'm saying. Don't just think your goal is to go over there to sign up new people. That's going to happen automatically because what we have is too good. It's too good. It's hard for people to say no when we show them what we really have. But your goal is to book a meeting from a meeting. BAMFAM, BAM fam, book a meeting from a meeting. When I want to see, if you call me and say, James, I can't get my income up, I'm going to say, take a picture of your calendar and send it to me. It tells me everything. If you're faking and shaking, if you're for real trying to get down for your crown, I can look at your calendar and tell what you're all about. I'm telling you right now how to be a big time producer and lead a balanced life. So you understand how many times you're showing it a week. And I'm telling you, you've already got your responsibilities already plotted. And then you've gone in and put in when you got an hour here that you could do a presentation each week. You've already identified that. So then when those appointments come up, you know where to put them. So you don't miss nothing. You don't neglect anything. When you go there to do the presentation, you understand that you're going there to leave with more presentations booked in your calendar than you showed up with. You'll sign up, people. Yep, you will. That it happens automatically. So now, I want you to understand that when you talk to people and you present this business, people are going to sign up, but there are going to be some people that got to talk to their wife or talk to their husband. They ain't got the money. They're not quite ready. And you're going to say, okay, well, I just enrolled these 3 people. I'm going to be at this person's house on this day. Can you come back then? Can you come back and look at it a second time at that person's? They're already at that person's house. They already know the person. They signed up 3 people there. They want to join, but they don't have the money. They got to talk to their husband or get their cat, got to get braces or whatever their excuse is. You want to invite them to take a second look. You want to invite them to some of the appointments that you've already booked. Sometimes people have to see the movie twice before they understand it. Okay? Now, some people say, well, I don't quite have the money. I tell them, you just start inviting people to these appointments that I've got set up. You just start inviting people there. And when you get people ready to show up, I'll make sure that you get taken care of. Now, what they heard might be something different, but for some reason, when they get people that already want to join under them and they haven't joined yet, for some reason, the money just seems to show up, doesn't it? When you got 3, 4 people ready to join and they don't quite have it, for some reason, they figure out a way to get it. Because when people have to have it, they figure out a way. If your water heater busted right now, if your car needed a new battery, you'd figure out a way to get a battery, wouldn't you? You figure out a way to get your water heater fixed. You figure out a way to get in this business when you got folks ready to join. So I'm telling you, when people are not quite there yet, you invite them to the stuff that you already have on your calendar. Now let's talk about some numbers. Okay. So let me just say this. I'm going to stop my share. Okay, let me just say this. If you're following with me already, I know we've covered an awful lot in a short period of time. I know that we're talking about those harvest principles, those recruiting rules, and those building laws. We're talking about how to apply that to your calendar. We've already talked about how to identify the roles that you play in your life, how to take an hour here and an hour there and an hour here and there, how to plot in when you are available, when you could do a presentation. You've already identified that. Presentation Tuesday at 8. Presentation Thursday at 8. I have presentation at 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 7 o'clock. 3 of them you got plotted on Saturday. You don't really have the appointment yet, but you got it in there. So that when you sponsor a new person and you let them know, I got to get you a check for $1,000. Is that okay? And they say, yeah, that's okay. So you got to book 3 of these group presentations. I've got 2 Monday at 8 open, Tuesday at 8, Thursday at 8, or any of these times on Saturday. When can you book 3 of these? Well, I can't do Monday, but I can do Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday I'll be at your place. And can you do Thursday? Can I come right back? And 2 days later, and some people that didn't show up and come back, let's not do Thursday, let's do Saturday. Okay, so we got Tuesday and Saturday down for you. How about the following Tuesday? So we got Tuesday, Saturday, and your third one is the following Tuesday. Got it. So I got your 3 in there. You got to do 3 to make 1,000. They're excited. They're inviting for Tuesday. Then I go to the next person and say, when can you do um, 3 of these presentations so that I can get you a check with 1,000? Well, I can do Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday I'm gonna be at his house. Can you bring some people over there to his place? Yeah, I can. Okay, great. How about you, ma'am? You just got started too. I'll be at his place on Tuesday. Can you invite some people over there? Great. Okay, good. He couldn't do Thursday. Can I do Thursday for you? Yeah. Can you also invite some people over here to his house on Thursday? See what I'm doing? Because I've been to people's house where none of their guests showed up. But because I bam-fammed and booked other people, I signed up 15, 12, 11 people. When the person hosting the party, nobody showed up. But because I was double and had them over there, you understand what I'm saying? Because I know what it's like to bam-fam. I'm going to book a meeting from a meeting. Now, once you understand what I'm doing and you see how this week I got so many, that week I got so many, this week I got so many, that week I got so many. Now, once you understand that, think about how many leaders you have on this training right now. Think about the leaders that you have on this training. If you're doing 4 to 6 a week, they're doing 4 to 6 a week, their leaders are doing 4 to 6 a week, you might possibly have 25 group presentations going on in your organizations a week, but you're only doing 4. But you got 25 of them going on. Now that you understand how we're doing this, let me go back to my screen share so we can break this down like a chicken wing, because I'm going to predict $100 to $200 per party, per people enrolling. If I'm going over doing a group presentation, I'm going to already forecast in my calendar how many people I'm going to recruit at that overview, at that group presentation, at that Zoom presentation. I'm going to predict how many. So if I bring in 3 new people with an average of $200, that's $600 per party. Huh? You see what I'm saying? 600 per party. If I got 5 parties that week, 5 times 600, that's $3,000 a week I'm gonna make. Can you stay with me? Huh? Because we thinking about this. Okay, I'm gonna sign. But the number of people I'm bringing in is gonna be between $200 and $300 per party. And I've got 4 to 6, take an average of 5 presentations a week. Take 300 to and I'm gonna bring in so many, that's between $300, $600, and $900 per party times 5 part. I can start forecasting per week how much I'm gonna make. I just wanted that to sink in for a minute. I want that to sink in for a minute because I want you to understand that there is a method, there is a science, and there's an art to what we're doing. A science and an art. The science is we're plotting our life first. We're plotting in the presentations that we're going to have before we have them. The art is how we fill it up, how we fill in this calendar. I got this time and that time. Can you do Friday night? Can't do Friday night because that's date night. Can't do Sunday because it's Sabbath. Can't do Wednesday. That's Bible study. That's the swim practice. That's whatever it is. Whatever your life calls you to do, you can't do it that day, but you can do it this day, this time. And now I want you seeing when you fill up your calendar, when you're showing this, because you got to show it 4 to 6 times to be a big builder. You want to make $50,000 a week, you got to be showing this. So you're in show business. That's what you do. You're in show business, right? So once you got this down, now you think, okay, I got that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these presentations in a week I could do. I got to fill that up. Each one of those group presentations I'm doing, I'm going to average about $300 per presentation because I'm going to fill up my calendar when I go there with other presentations. I'm going to help those people get their 2 to 3 because a recruit's not a recruit till they got the 2 to 3. And then I'm going to help them do the same thing by getting BAM family and getting them to other parties because I'm looking for that big independent leader that's 3 to 4 levels deep. You feel me? Huh? You understand where I'm going? Art and a science to this. And if you're making $300 to $600 per presentation and you got 6 of them going, now you figured out exactly how much you're projecting you're making a week. Now imagine you got 5 people doing the same thing. 5 people doing the same thing in your organization. They're doing their own group presentation. They're doing their own BAM family. They're doing their own projecting their income per week. Huh? So you got so many people following the same method. You can now see how you're going to put in 2,000 people in 2 weeks because we're systematically building this out. We didn't just show up. We don't just look like this. We know what we're doing. We're smooth operating professionals at producing big numbers. That's what we do. We get down for our crown. We produce. We put respect on our check, and we show people what's possible. I just want you to understand. But you're always looking for who's a leader. See, I just bought on a friend of mine that I've had known for a long time. He and his wife, man, they're just so respected in their communities. And I know they're about to be big time builders. I know how big their why is and what they want to. I know we're going to help them get their 2 to 3 right away and help those people do the same thing. And those people do the same thing. I know that. But what I'm looking for are leaders. You're always looking for leaders. Not everybody's a leader. When I have a leader, I'm going to launch them. I'm going to do a personal launch for that leader. Now, the reason I told you that is because not everybody is a leader that has this sphere of influence. So here's what you're looking for: people you can do a launch with, a launch call. They have to have a sphere of influence that people listen to them. They've already been successful in networking and they know other networkers, or they're transitioning a large team. You don't want to do a launch with somebody that invites 15 to 20 people and only 2 show up. That's not really a launch. That's just a presentation for 2 people. But when you've got a launch, and I'm going to be doing trainings on how to launch your people that of influence, but I want you to know the purpose of a launch is to help them get their 3 to 6 or 7 or 8 people right away within their first 24 to 48 hours. So you're doing a personal launch, but you got folks that you're launching within your organization because you're looking for leaders, right? So make note, not everybody can do that, but they have to have a sphere of influence. They have to, maybe they got experience in networking and they know other leaders. Maybe they're a leader on their job. Maybe they're a pastor. Maybe they're whatever it is, a leader. You're looking for leaders that know other leaders, right? Secondly, maybe it's somebody transitioning a group already. So now that you know that, this is where you start to really produce some massive numbers. So I can plot in my calendar. I've already got my life goals. I've already got the time that I'm doing 4 to 6 presentations a week. When do I have in there time that I can do a launch for someone? I can do a Zoom, or when somebody's got 10 to 15 people that are personal to them. And then the purpose of me doing a Zoom like this is so that we can get that person. See, if they've got 25 people they can invite to hear about this, then about 12 to 15 will show up. Of those 12 to 15 that show up, I do the presentation, you do the presentation, we'll teach you all of that. You're going to sign up 3 to 4 or 5 of them. On average, 3 to 4 of them will join within a 30, 40-minute period. I try to schedule 2 to 3 launches per week. I try to schedule 2 to 3 of them on a Saturday. This doesn't take but about 30 to 40 minutes to do a presentation of a launch, because you're doing it in a group setting. So I'm sharing with you how to produce some massive, massive numbers, right? Now, if I'm predicting I'm going to bring in 3 to 4 people from this launch, how many enrollees I have for the launch, I know how many launches I have a week, plus the presentations I'm doing a week. You understand where I'm going? This is how I'm predicting how much income I'm making from my launches, how much income I'm making from my my group presentations, how many 3-ways I'm doing, how many people are enrolling. So when people say, oh, wow, you made $25,000 your first 3 weeks, your first month, you made all your $10,000, and they go, wow, it seems like magic. It's not magic. No, player, it's not magic. It's an art and a science to what we do. But I'm telling you, it took me 10 years to learn what I'm sharing with you all right now. It took me a long time to learn this. I'm teaching this to you so that you can absorb it right now at the beginning before we do our pre-launch. I'm teaching this to you. I'm giving you this for free. I had to pay for it, but I'm giving it to you for free. And the tough part is some people won't adhere to what I'm sharing right now. They won't. They hear it, but it goes in here and out there. They're not grasping that Dr. Pruitt said, go buy this calendar. Go buy this calendar. Go get this calendar for yourself at a glance. Get this calendar, put in there your life, put in there 4 to 6 times you could do a presentation. Put that in there. Put in there exactly when that you are able to do a launch call. You don't have one yet, but just put it in there. You can do a launch. Because when you start predicting and putting in there when you're available to do it, guess what happens? Life seems to give you. All of a sudden, you run into somebody that needs a launch. You might call me, or you may call Dr. Branch. You might call Brian Johnson, or you may call Mr. Hip. You may call somebody that you have, your support team leader, and say, man, I need somebody to do a launch for me. I need somebody to do a launch for me. I got somebody who has some influence that can put 15, 20 people on a call. Will you do it? We're going to do it for you, but we're doing it for you to teach you how to do it. Yeah, we're developing leaders, not followers. We're developing leaders, and leaders lead, and leaders get paid. So when your grandchildren look at you walk across that stage and get that $50,000 cash bonus, when you go outside and open the door for your wife and she sits inside that Bentley and you close the door, and everybody looks at you a little different. It's because you've grown to be in that role by what we're teaching right now. If this makes you nervous, you get that butterfly, that's that uncomfortable feeling I told you about. That's true growth. So the things that I'm teaching you right now, I understand they're advanced. This is an advanced training. This training is specifically for big builders who ain't got time to play. We can sleep next week, next year, next month. We're getting down for our crown right here, right now. And if you ain't never been taught this, let me tell you something. When people say, how did you put in 2,000 people in 2 weeks? It sounds like magic. They don't believe it's possible. Now you know how and why it's possible because of what we're teaching, what we're doing right here, right now. So I want everybody here to just start picturing in your mind who you are as a leader, okay? Now, when we talk about looking at your calendar, I want you to start looking at that full month. Look at that calendar. Look at that in sections of 10. The first 10 days, the second 10 days, and the third 10 days. Because your focus as a master leader, a big builder, a producer, your focus is to maximize the first 10 days of every month. The first 10 days of every month, you should be massive exposure. You should be calling and piquing interest, not telling them everything that you're peaking. I've run across something that could be a blessing to a great number of people. Are you open to taking a look to see if this could be a blessing to you? Pique their interest. You should be 50, 60 brand new people every first 10 days of the month. 50, 60, they're hiding in your phone. 50 to 60 brand new people. You're married to the process. You're divorced to the results. Your goal in the first 10 days is massive exposure. Invite, invite, invite. It's a presentation. I'm going to send you this video to watch. You're piquing people's interest. Your PS3 and piquing their interest. Show them something. Connect them to the three-way, to your support team leader. Piquing interest, showing something. You're piquing. The second 10 days, you're moving people along the process. This person I called, they haven't showed up on a presentation yet. You got to move them to the next step. Or they saw the presentation, but I haven't done a three-way with them yet. You move, or they did a three-way, still haven't enrolled. I got to do another three-way, invite them to something else. Put somebody, you're moving them, and then that last 10 days, man, you're closing them out. You're collecting decisions. Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? Tell me yes, tell me no, tell me maybe, and then but 3 answers, yes, no, or maybe. Tell me something. Tell me quick, I gotta go. Yes, tell me no, tell me quick, I gotta go. Is it yes? Okay, great, we got you in. Let me get you 3 of these presentations so I can get you $1,000. Would that be okay? Yep, okay, great. Let me see, I got 2, I got these times. See here, maybe, okay, great. Maybe let's move you along to the next. Did you do a three-way? How about another three-way? Let me get you on the phone with Karen. Let me get you on the phone with this person. Let me call this. You see what I'm saying? You're moving these people along through the process. First 10 days, massive exposure. Second 10 days, you're connecting. Third 10 days, you're closing them out strong. You, in your last 10 days, you should be putting in more people than you did in the first 20 days. And then you got your goal that you got to hit in your calendar right up there at the top. Your monthly focus is clear. Huh? Clear. How do you become a big time money earner? It's not magic. It's not hocus pocus. It's focus, focus. Huh? Focus, focus. That's how you do it. What do you focus on? I'm showing you right here in writing how to do it. I'm showing you how to do it. I'm telling you, you're going to have to identify who your starting five is. Who are your starting five people on your team that you're working with? Who are your starting five people that you're working with? And I was always taught you're going to run with the runners. You're going to walk with the walkers. If they're standing still, you go work with somebody else. See, somebody who's standing still, they can't reach me because I'm too busy running with the runners and walking with the walkers. I'm too busy looking for brand new leaders, brand new folks to put in. See, I already know that what I've accomplished thus far, hitting goal thus far, hitting whatever that is, I can't expect that same group of people to get me to the next level. Did you hear that part? If I've gotten this far to national, how many people did I have to put in to get to national? I need to put in that many more people to get to the next rank. And then that many more people. I'm not trying to get the same people to get me to each of these levels. That's not logical. If I had to put in 12 people to get me to 20,000 a month to get me to this level, I need another 12 people to get me to the next level and another 12 after that. Because remember our 2020 vision, 20 left, 20 right. You got to go wide enough to account for the 1/3 rule. See, all this makes sense. I'm telling you what I'm telling you for a reason. Now, I'm not going to go into the spirit of leadership. I'm not going to teach you the second part of this training because we're going to break this up into segments. I'm not going to talk about how leaders are special people. I'm not going to talk about the difference between a leader and a follower. I'm not going to talk about what type of characteristics leaders have. I'm not going to talk about why a leader is special and how they attract other leaders. I'm not even going to talk about the mentality of that. What I want to talk about right here and right now in this presentation, in this particular training, in this coaching session, is I wanted to give you enough to take those building laws, those recruiting rules, and those harvest principles and show you how to apply them to the calendar. I think we've covered that today. And I don't want to give you overload because just every one of these trainings is going to build upon the previous training. So we're going to leave it here for now. But I do want to bring on some very special people who have done some very special things. And these people that I'm going to bring on next, they have done an exceptional job. And the first person I wanted to bring on is somebody that just went through a hurricane. That means he's down there in the Houston metroplex, the greater Houston area, and they got trees down and power outages and all of that stuff that's going on. And still, he called me today talking about the leaders that are coming on. Like when we open in these countries, and we got different countries that we're opening, and he's got worldwide leaders, and all he's talking about is how good he can do. So, Mr. Brian Johnson, I want you to join us, if you will, Brian, and give us your brief testimony about the what you're putting together, how you did it, and just kind of break it down, man. Just give us a quick income testimony, Brian.
Okay, for sure. And awesome presentation as always. You're the man with that. And you guys, this opportunity is a major blessing because when he called me about the opportunity, I was doing other things. I wasn't really open to looking at nothing, especially a product, because I'm not really, per se, a product person, per se. But when he told me what the product does and what his vision was with the company, I bought in. And when I bought into the vision, I went to work, but I had a lot of different things happening in my personal world as well as hurricanes and all this other stuff. So the reality, I've been in the business a month, but I
really just work the business maybe 8 days or 9 days this month, and working the business really on a part-time level and bringing in 15 people, I've been able to generate almost $5,000, a little under $5,000 in basically 8 days of work. And, you know, it's been phenomenal. The complex is phenomenal here, and the product works. My testimony to the product, I've been having some deals with my prostate and stuff like that. And by getting on the product literally has helped all those situations, bedrooms, different things like that, and circulation and stuff like that throughout, you know, my legs and stuff like that. It has cleared up all these different ailments in just a short space of being on the product. And that within itself gave me a whole another direction to product. And we have a lot of people coming on board on our team that's getting excited about the product as well. And we're going to be working with them doing the launch call and helping everyone win to get to that continental business. That's all I see. I see it just like Dr. Brand said the other day. You're looking at December. It's going to be the month to remember because we're going to be all breaking these continental businesses with our team, and everyone's going to know about the X-Track. So with that, I'm going to pass it back to you, Dr. Brand.
Now let me show you how what I'm teaching you is actually true. Thank you so much, Mr. Johnson, for that powerful testimony. And maybe you're thinking that I sponsored Mr. Johnson, but I did not. See, I sponsored somebody that sponsored somebody else, that sponsored somebody else that brought in Mr. Johnson. He's 3 to 4 levels deep. Didn't I tell you the recruiting rule and the building law? The independent leader you're looking for, the superstar, the Brian Johnson that you're looking for is 3 to 4 levels deep. That's right. And when I first talked to Brian, he was telling me about what he was doing. And he heard the conviction, he heard the excitement. He know because what I thought affected my emotions, affected the words that I said, affected the actions that I take. When he heard me talk about what we're doing, he just told you he bought into the vision. And look what he's done. I mean, the guy is operating part-time, and part-time, even around a hurricane, he breaking out. What do you say? We're working about 8 days already at $5 grand. See, boy, I'm scared of him. You watch what this guy does. Now, I want to bring on another leader. And he and I were talking today, and I told him that I'm getting ready to go to the Bentley dealership, and I'm going to start looking at Bentleys. I'm taking my son and my daughter with me. We're going to take some test drives. Y'all think I'm playing? You think I'm playing about this? I'm not. You should start thinking about, go to the jewelry store and look at what the Rolex. Just go look at them. Go start thinking about what 10 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand, what could you do with that? You got to see it here before it happens. I want to bring on Dr. Steve Branch. Dr. Branch, you and I were talking today about the Rolex. We were talking about the Bentleys, and you saying, man, wouldn't that be nice to present that to your wife? And I told my wife, you can have the 50 grand. I want the Bentley. And really, we both gonna have the money. We both gonna have the Bentley. But I like to just, you know, I put constraints on myself. I put myself in a situation where I have to perform because I'm looking for real leaders that want to join me as we get down for our crown. What you want to say to the group today?
Well, very briefly, man. Incredible training. This is the way you start off a Saturday morning, man. I mean, with this kind of training and motivation, you know, in this industry and in creating success, it's the little things that make the difference. And you know, we need a vehicle, a system, and a strategy. And we have it all, man, because the vehicle is these incredible one-of-a-kind products that the masses do not know about, and we're about to expand internationally. The system is the incredible compensation plan, what gives us unlimited income for sharing a message. And the strategy is what you just taught, how to create massive income and momentum and the duplication of the launch calls and the presentations. It's simply brilliant, man. So I want to commend you for the first stage of the training. And I look forward to being on any training. You've been in the industry over 35 years, brother. And some of the information, man, it seemed like it's brand new, but I know we've lived it. We've done it over and over again. We implement it. So we know it's facts and we know the system works. And that's a matter of just going through the law, going through the energy, and it's going to happen for you. You can dictate and determine whatever income you want. And keep in mind, your clientele is anybody you know or know of that have any type of health issue at all. That's our market. That's our market. So with that being said, I'm going to pass it back to you, sir.
Dr. Branch, I appreciate
I'll see you at the Bentley dealership.
That's right. That's exactly right. And, here's what I want to do. I want you to put in the chat right now. I want everybody to put in the chat right now how many of Project 2000 that you want your team to grow to from July 15th to August 1st. How many of that 2000 is going to be yours? 5, 25, 55, 200, 300. Put in the chat how much you want your team to grow by. Put in the chat. And I want to just say before we transition out of here, I want you to put in the chat. And while you're putting in the chat, how many you want your group to grow by? You got to have a goal. You got to have something that you want to accomplish. While we're doing that, I want this to resonate with you one more time. So while you watch this, it's only a couple minutes, and I can't see this enough. I want you to see what number you're inspired to have your team to grow to. Put that in the chat as we watch this one more time.
You can write everything down if you want to. Be brave enough to write every one of your goals down. But I'm going to tell you something. Life's going to hit you in your mouth, and you got to do me a huge favor. Your why has to be greater than that knockdown. And I love it. Buster Douglas got knocked out. Nobody ever got knocked out by Mike Tyson and ever got back up.
And 3 and 4. His eyes from where I'm sitting look fairly clear. It's up to 7.
It was almost a 10 count. He was stumbling.
And here it is at 9. Is he going to get up? Yes, he does. All right.
Saved by the bell.
The 8th round.
He goes to his corner. The whole world is like, yep, that's it. Once he comes back out, that's it. Mike's going to just hammer him. And exactly that. Mike Tyson came out like, I got him. I got this kid up against the rope. Listen to me, many of you right now, life's got you up against the rope. You can't give up. You can't give in. Listen to me, if it was easy, everybody would do it. And if life's got you backed up, I need you to do what Buster Douglas did. Buster Douglas started fighting back.
He's uppercut by Buster Douglas. Look at this. He's knocked Mike Tyson down for the first time in his career. Mike Tyson hits the canvas.
The world was shocked. Goliath has been knocked down. What happened? And they went to Buster Douglas and they asked Buster Douglas simply like, what happened? And Buster Douglas said, listen to me, it's real simple. Before my mother died, she told the whole world that I was going to beat Mike Tyson. And 2 days before the fight, my mother died. Buster Douglas had a decision to make. When his mother died, he could die with his mother, or he made a decision, I can wake up and I can live for mom. And he knocked Mike Tyson out simply because his why was greater than that punch. His why was greater than defeat. His why was greater than his trial and his tribulation. And I'm telling you, if you don't know what your why is and your why isn't strong, you're going to get knocked out every single day.
It's not an option. And the reason why some of you are not where you're supposed to be, you've given yourself an option. You've given yourself an out. You've given yourself an excuse. You've given yourself room not to do it. Yeah, are you hearing what I'm saying? You better go inside. You still looking outside for the stuff that's already inside. You still looking for someone to save you when you already your superhero. You looking for some information from somebody when you already got what you need in your head. It's just time for you to get up and be the best version of you.